What's up, YouTube? Drew here. Tonight I'm going to talk about sheepshead fishing. These little guys here, Gulf of Mexico, all the way up the Atlantic coast. Shout out to my grandpa, rest in peace. He did this little wood burning thing. This was his favorite fish. By far my favorite fish as well. It's getting a little cold here in Tampa Bay. I'm a little bit south of Tampa Bay, just a couple of miles, not too far. I'm going to tell you my 5 favorite ways to catch sheepshead. My first is going to be live bait. Obviously, these guys love live bait, and it is hard to catch them on artificials. But it can be done, and I do have a few here that I actually like. I will start with a live bait. Most of you guys are going to be using live shrimp. So when you're using live shrimp, I like to use a 30-pound leader with a size 2 long shank bait holder hook on 30-pound line. I make all of these leaders myself. I pre-do them so it doesn't take me as much time out on the water to change things up. But these bait holder hooks, about 18 to 20 inches of leader, 30-pound, size 2 bait holders, Eagle Claw, Gamakatsu, whatever you prefer, they will work. This is not a circle hook. I do use a circle hook from time to time, but not unless they're spawning in March, end of February, where they get very, very aggressive, and they will hit that thing like a snook. But for the shrimp, if you're going to fish for the sheepshead, use that 30-pound size 2 bait holder hook. Probably should have done this one first, but live crabs are probably going to be the best way to go for you guys. Fiddler crabs, mud crabs, oyster crabs. Just make sure when you're out there picking crabs, you're not picking mud crabs. I mean, stone crabs, not mud crabs. Stone crabs. You don't want to pick those out of season or undersized. You can get in a lot of trouble for that, picking stone crabs. But the little fiddler crabs, I like to find them dime size to about a quarter. Same thing with the oyster crabs and the mud crabs, about a dime size to a quarter. And I will put those on a size 2 O'Shaughnessy straight short shank hook with 15-pound leader, and I usually fish that right next down to the pilings. As these fish, they're kind of cruising up and down the pilings. They're looking for crabs and other stuff, barnacles that they can grab and pull off. This is my favorite setup. 15-pound, size 2, straight shank, J hook, size 2. Use those for your crabs. And then what I like to do with the crabs is I like to push this in the side and make the shank actually look like a leg. If you can make it look like a leg, they won't even notice anything. Go low on the leader line. These sheepshead, they are very smart, and they will very easily pass up your bait if they see any type of leader or any type of hook. So make that leader low and keep that hook inside of the crab and make it so the shank looks like a leg on the outside. I'm going to go ahead and go with the third. Here is I don't know if you can see that. This is a Weston cocoa crab. They come in many different colors, but they have treble hooks on the little claws, and they have a little spot on the back where you can hook your leader to. These guys work very well because the sheepshead, when they attack, they like to grab these claws first. And when they grab the claw on the Western cocoa crab, they're getting hooked. This Western cocoa crab works very well at the piers. You can use it on the flats. Pretty much anywhere there's sheepshead, sight fishing. This thing will this thing does the trick. It definitely does the trick. Now this crab is a little bit bigger. This is my number 4. This is a CRANKA crab. This comes from Australia. It has the same exact type of, treble hooks on these claws. And these claws float in the water. So as it's going through the water, these claws are up in the air like this. They're up in the air. They're not laying on the ground. They are up in the air in a defensive posture like a crab would be. These things work very well for the bigger sheepshead, sight fishing. If you see a redfish, throw this at it. He'll go after it. He definitely will. And last but not least, this one is going to be a little bit tougher, but I have caught sheepshead on this, and this is really one of the only artificial shrimps that I've ever caught a sheepshead on. It is the Savage Gear. It is the 3D TPE shrimp. This color is the Manic 4-inch, 1/4 of an ounce. Anything that has a natural color, let me see here. I've even got like these pink shrimp work very well in the winter time on the sheepshead. That was the chase baits. These live targets work also, but these two are more for redfish, snook, during the summertime, slow presentation, but sheepshead will hit this. I don't know what it is about the pink during the wintertime, but they absolutely love the pink. And that's really my top 5 that I have for you guys. The only other thing I want to show you is the setup that I use. A 7-foot. I like to use an ugly stick, 7-foot Elite. This is a medium light, 7-foot, 4 to 10 pound line, 1/8 to 1/2 ounce lure. Now this is the Elite ugly stick. This is not the GX2. The GX2 has a little bit less sensitivity. This Elite has a little bit more sensitivity. That's why I like it for the sheepshead. But the key to this is this jig head right here. This white and red jig head, 1/8 of an ounce. I will peel the shrimp back a little bit, pinch off the tail, and slide him right on that hook right there. Tail end pointed towards the head. So when you pull that shrimp back, it's kicking in a general motion like it should. When you see a shrimp in the wild, when they kick, they're kicking and they're going backwards. They're kicking and going backwards and kicking and going backwards. And that's what this jig head with those live shrimp is going to mimic. This is going to be very, very good throwing around residential docks, docks that aren't pressured a lot. If you're fishing at a pier that's pressured a lot, I have a couple out here in South Tampa that are pressured a lot. I can really only use live bait to catch these sheepshead. I hope you guys liked the video. Please like the video, subscribe if you like inshore fishing. It's sheepshead time, and that's what I'm going to be getting into. Once we get into, March and April, we'll get into the pompano and some other things. We'll get into some snook, definitely. Some redfish, flounder, who knows. I'm planning on getting a vessel here pretty soon, so I will be out on the water. I do fish probably 2 to 3 times a week, but I'm limited to the banks right now. I fish the Skyway a lot, Rod and Reel Pier, Anna Marie Island, Sarasota, all over this area, just a little bit south of Tampa Bay. If you guys like what you see, hit that subscribe button, give me a like, hit the bell in the corner if you want to get notified every time that I put up a video. And I will leave a link in the description below where you can get these 3 artificial lures. And you guys have a great day. Take care.